To show you how to do mental maps, which are, kind of fun, I think, to do. You don't need to see my D&D stuff, but here we go. All right. So, in a built environment, we're going to have 5 items according to Lynch. So if you'll remember what those 5 items are, they are path, edge, district, node, and landmark. So a path and an edge can also be the same thing, and a node and landmark can also be the same thing. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a campus the way that I see it. It's probably quite different than the way you see it, but let's just draw it anyway. All right, so for me, campus has one edge on the top, which is college. One edge over here, that's route 1. Route 1. One edge over here, that's sunken. And one edge over here, that's William. Okay. Now, inside that space, which areas have paths? Well, there's a path over here, and it goes like this as far as I know, and then boop, and then goes like that. And let's see, what other things do we have? We have another landmark over here, and we have another landmark over here and over here, and the whole thing creates a district. Now your map is likely to be very different than mine. So in some ways, your map will have some similarities. For instance, I'm pretty sure that right here, just like mine, you will have the bell tower, which will serve as both a node and a landmark. I think that ball circle will also be a landmark for just about everybody. And the fountain, Paul Mary Fountain in front of Monroe, will be a landmark for everybody as well. But Combs might not be a landmark for you. It is for me because I hang out there a lot. And Jeffy Square might not be a particular path that you care about very much. But since I hang out there a lot, for me, that's going to be really important. You'll notice that I don't show Eagle Village at all, which is right over here, and I don't show the apartments at all either, even though they're over here. For a while, the apartments would have been part of that district because I used to live there when my house was under construction. But I've never actually lived in Eagle Village, so for me, that part is still outside of the district. So how is the mental map useful? Well, it's useful, number one, to figure out, are there things inside the district or that shouldn't be there, or things inside the district that should be there that aren't there. So, for instance, what you really don't want is an edge in the middle of a district. That's bad. You don't want an edge cutting off one part of a district from another part of a district. So if you consider Eagle Village to be part of the district, right, like this, then there's a problem being you have to cross this edge. Here, I'll do it in red here. You have to cross this edge here in order to get there. So the university solved this, right, found that, hey, this is going to be a problem. And they solved this by putting the pedestrian bridge across the way. So now that connects these two areas, and that solves the problem. We have the same problem on William, right, which is that William is an edge, and then we've got the apartments on the other side. And here, there has been no solution. And so as a result, it's a very unpleasant intersection here to try to get from the apartments to campus. So problem number one that can appear is either things that should be inside that aren't, or things that should not be inside that are. So things inside that should be that maybe aren't. Campus is actually really nice, but in some places you'll have a whole neighborhood and it has no node or landmark at all, right? Nothing. There's nothing to be like, hey, meet me at whatever. And when that's the case, that means there's very little imageability and legibility in a place. And that's bad. It means, it's not going to be a place of activity. So problem number 2 that can arise, let me get back my pen. Boop. Problem number 2 is the idea, again, of imageability and legibility that you cannot read from a single map. So my map is useful to a point, but after a while, it doesn't really do much. But if you add my map and then, 20 more maps, 30 more maps, 50 more maps, ideally, they should line up very, very well. In other words, people should have agreement over where the edges are, where the paths are, what the district is. If there are any nodes, what are those nodes? If there are any landmarks, what are those landmarks? If there isn't agreement, if people don't agree on where the edges are, in particular where the district is, that again points to an urban design problem telling you, hey, this area needs more clarity. So at that point, you can figure out, oh, well, we need to add a landmark, or we need to make these paths clearer, etc., in order to make a place more clear, more imageable. All right, that's it. So for the final exam, I would like you to please know all 5 of these terms. They are very important. All right, mental maps are important, and as you can tell, even if you have no drawing skill whatsoever, you can still use them quite effectively. That's it for this video. Thank you very much. Here, I'll draw you a little smiley face. Boop. That's terrible. All right, I'm going to stop now. Bye.